What it is, man, y'all know what time it is, man. We back with another pod, another discussion, Backstreet News, Backstreet Media. Y'all know what time it is, Spice Forever Network. I'm Stacks. To my right, Miss Lydia, my guy, 808 Executive.
What's up, baby? What's going on?
Yes, sir. And we got a special guest today, former NFL player, Super Bowl champion, entrepreneur.
Let's go.
Crosby. What's up, Snell?
What's up, man? What's up, everybody? Lydia, everybody. Just happy to be here, man. Happy to be on y'all set and sharing my insight and perspective.
It's an honor. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Yeah, man. You got accolades. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
My name is Cliff Crosby. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm a transplant in this area by way of University of Maryland. Got a football scholarship way back in the day.
Go
to come
Terps.
to University of Maryland. Played football there from 94 to 99.
Okay.
Went on to the NFL after that.
Yeah.
Lived out a dream. It was a dream come true.
Wow.
Made it to the NFL. Was fortunate enough to play 5 seasons. Won a Super Bowl my rookie year. Since retiring from there, I still work for the NFL Players Association.
Okay.
I help former players transition. These are guys
that's
that
amazing.
all they know is football.
Right.
They've been playing football since Little League. And now that they're not playing, it's like, what do I do now?
Right.
I'm 6'9", 300 pounds. I can't just go work a regular job.
Right.
So now we help them transition and figure out their second act.
Is there a lot of people that do that type of job for those players?
Right now, there's only 8 of us. So you have to be a former player to do that job.
Okay.
So I'm one of 8 out of 30,000 former players.
Wow. So is it growing? Because it sounds like a essential piece.
So it is an essential piece, but it's not growing because we have other people in the background working, like program managers and service people, but only a former player in my position do what I do. I'm called a captain. So I go out and I'm doing the outreach. I'm calling you. So whoever your favorite player is, if they retire next week, I'm probably going to be on their line.
Right.
Telling them like, hey, here's the benefits you earned from being a former player.
Right.
Here's how we can help you transition.
And what is the age range for retirement for a professional football
I don't know
player?
what the age range is, but it's more of accredited seasons, right? The average person only plays 2 to 3 seasons.
Hey.
Right? So if you figure they're graduating from college at, 23, 24, and they play 2 more years in the NFL, they 25, 26. That's the youngest. But the most in need players are those 35 to 45, because that's when now the money has depleted a little bit. It's not replacing itself.
Right.
So now they realize that they do need some services.
I think that's wonderful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's all right, man. That is all right. So with a profession like that, how does your wife translate into this? Are you married?
No.
You got a ring on your finger.
Oh, yeah. I'm married to the game. I'm married to the game.
So what Stacks is getting into is going to be our topic for this podcast. We're going to put Mr. Clifton on the hot seat. The topic, gentlemen, is why aren't you married? And for layman terms, why ain't you married yet?
Why ain't you married?
Why ain't you married yet?
Why ain't married?
I'm not married. We're gonna start off with me. Why we gotta start off with me?
We want to let ladies go first.
Oh wow. Okay.
Gentlemen.
Well, when we decided to go with this topic, I wanted to make sure that I had the right answer. And I was going to go into some research, and then I was going to have facts on facts. But for me, organically, I'm not married because, and we talked about this in one of the podcasts, is that I've never had the vision to be married. I've never put that out there in the atmosphere that I want to be married. And I'm very keen on, what you speak, it will manifest itself. And to be honest, I grew up in a 2-parent household, but I was never trained, conditioned, or taught to be a wife.
Okay.
So even though you might live in a 2-parent household, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are the best product for marriage.
Oh, so you can't cook?
Oh, I can cook very well, but it wasn't as if my mother taught me to cook. It wasn't as if my dad told me that it's important for me to cook. I learned to cook on survival mode. You know, if I wanted to feed myself, if I wanted to eat a
Will
certain
your
way.
parents be watching this? I don't know if they're.
Well, my father passed away in 2003, but my mom, she's always looking, and she,
Okay.
you know, we
I'm
have.
just curious as to what her thoughts on when you say.
She doesn't cook, so
when you say, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. I'm
Don't
sorry.
assume.
Yes, we had that conversation.
So what I was asking about is you said it wasn't like as if you were taught to be married or from your parents.
Mhm.
And I'm just curious, is that your mom's view? Because maybe she feel like she did mention it to you.
Let me tell you something that is very genuine about my mother. My mother never campaigned or championed me to be with a man. Like you know how some parents are like, hey, you got a boyfriend or that. My mother was like, no, like she wasn't really advocating for that type of thing. Like I didn't actually start dating until I was in college. And even then it was kind of like new, like very new for me to be close with someone at that time in my life, because I'm thinking based on how my mother got to get through school. Like I was a very active child. Like I was swimming lessons, basketball, track. My mom had me involved, Navy Sea Cadets, Army, ROTC.
Busy.
I was busy. That's, you know, so when it came to boys, my mom did not think it was cute for me to be engaged with boys.
I don't want you to be that kid, you know, just like a rapper, like I had it hard.
And then have a completely different lifestyle.
So
Right.
So is that why you wanted to see why she wasn't married?
Yeah, I mean, I really just wanted to hear her say it again because she said it before.
What did you perceive her saying?
She hasn't lived that life. She hasn't manifested it. She hasn't focused on it. She hasn't brought that energy in her world.
She ain't put it on a vision board.
I didn't put it on my vision
so when I
board.
thought about your question, one, I didn't like the question.
He said he didn't like my question. I apologize.
Because you skipped to the whole other pieces. Like, why aren't you in a relationship? You jump right to straight why we ain't married. You switched it.
And
You went straight to the.
And I did that on purpose.
Right. You went straight to the outcome.
I did that on purpose.
As opposed to how you get to the outcome.
I did that on purpose because when you get to a certain age,
right? Okay.
Now this is just me, and you know, highly opinionated. But when you get to a certain age, how long does it really require for you to know that you want to marry someone?
I think it goes back to what you said, right? So when I thought about the question, it made me think about it was never my goal. Like as a kid, it was never a goal.
Yeah.
Like as a young boy, the goal was to make it to the NFL. It was never first marriage. Like I want to be married. I want to be this. It was more, who am I going to be when I get older? Not who am I going to be with. But I think for women, it starts off as a goal.
I agree.
Like I want to be a mom and I want to be married.
I agree. I agree.
And so for me, it was never a goal, but it wasn't never not a goal either.
Right.
It just wasn't in the thing that I was thinking about. Like I wasn't thinking about girls. I was active. I was a kid. I was playing football, basketball.
But did you have girlfriends?
I mean, I did when I was like 10, high school.
Yes, and I feel like women are definitely more. I agree 110% of what you're saying. I think most young boys are not driven to think about marriage, but when you're in relationships, women can be definitely influential into massaging that concept.
I think so. So to me, I think women look for relationships. Men find themselves in relationships.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'll give you an example. Me and you dating, right?
Okay.
I like that.
You're focused on the outcome. What are we? What are we doing? When are we going? How long we gonna keep dating?
Oh shit!
But more men, we are more like we just enjoying your company. We enjoying your time.
Damn.
So as a relationship,
hold on, we're going down the line.
So my thing is, so we find ourselves in a relationship on accident.
Woo!
Right? Like
how did I get here?
Yeah, like how did I get here?
Like
this wasn't the goal.
Happened, right?
It wasn't the goal. The goal was I got a girlfriend, or I got a girl that I like,
and I'm really hanging out with her,
and I'm enjoying her. And then you hit us with, and then the woman hits us with,
What are we?
What are we?
Oh, Lord.
But that's what we discussed on the last podcast.
I'm just
But you
saying.
said y'all was talking about 6 years. If y'all haven't
So
yet
a 6
already
year
seen the last
jam,
episode,
we're talking about something totally
please,
different.
please download the app and go check out the last full episode
Go
where we
fact check,
discuss. Yes,
basically, is
we
what you're
discussed
saying.
the same thing
I feel like-
about the main situation versus.
I
I'm
feel like
good.
I was being criminalized
I'm
for
telling you.
treating a woman the way she's supposed to be treated without a title.
Right.
Just why do we have to have the title?
Right. So okay. So it went back to your point. You was like, at what age, right? You
Right.
mentioned the age, right? You
Like
said,
this
at
already.
what age do you realize or know that this person is going to be that person, right? I'm 48. It's not necessarily. So I had this. I brought some stuff with me, some little trinkets. I'll pull them out later. But this card on it, it was like this question, and it says, "Don't be so focused on the outcome." So for me, that in relationships, the outcome is marriage for most women. Like, how do I get to marriage? Right? Like, am I wasting my time with this person? Right? That's the outcome. But I'm so focused on let's be present. Like, why are we so in a rush to get out of this dating phase?
I'm
Like,
gonna.
I like the dating phase. Like,
I'm-
it's still young. It's exciting.
I'm going to answer that
ahead.
question, but I'm going to let Floyd speak on
Damn.
because he seemed to be like,
He got
I
excited.
like this
He got excited.
yeah, he in that gallery.
Women will
So
walk
I want to
away.
know.
Women will walk away from everything just because they don't get to walk down the aisle. You're gonna walk away from all your bills being paid, vacations,
You're going to walk away from the
dates,
present.
being uplifted, investing in your business that you want.
So we can talk about that walk away, right?
That's crazy.
My last relationship
Okay, here we go.
was 2 years ago.
All right.
And she, I don't know, she might not see this podcast. She might. She checked all my boxes. Every box I had. She was fine. She worked out. She was my helpmate. She did everything she needed to do. But one thing that she wanted was a baby. She wanted to be a mother. And she wasn't a mother. My son was 19. Like, there was no way I was about to go start that process all over.
Ground zero.
Like, I know what it takes to be a father. I know what it looks like. I don't need no another practice at it. Like,
And how
I know
long
the
were y'all
energy
together?
that in that 40, 48, all I could see was 53. I'm going to pick my son up from daycare again.
No, so
I'm figuring out, can we have play dates?
life change.
That's not what I wanted at that time, but I wanted her, so I considered it.
Right.
But the more I considered it, I was like, man, I can't do this.
And how long were you guys together, if you don't mind me
We
asking?
were together for about a year, because we met during the pandemic. So all I'm saying is, to the walkaway part. One thing about men is, and I don't know, if you're a man out there and you did this before, come meet me, because I am never meet too many men that broke up with a woman. Men don't break up.
Stacks?
Men don't break up.
Facts.
Men get broken up with.
Yes.
You know why? Because we cowards. We know if we tell her we done,